From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
Hey everyone, Rosemary Hassan back again to help you take full control of your life by what you choose to put at the end of your fork. So let's get into it. Your mouth. Your mouth is something that we don't pay attention to enough. When it comes to your health, did you know that your oral health can indicate what your level of health is?
Did you know tooth decay is permanent? Unlike your bones, which can heal, your tooth enamel doesn't have living cells to repair itself. Once it's damaged, it's gone for good. That's why your dentist has to drill and fill your cavities. Also, did you know that healthy gums are crucial for your overall well-being? Research shows that poor gum health is associated with serious issues like heart disease and diabetes. It's multifactorial. Obviously, if you have gum disease, it doesn't mean you're automatically going to get heart disease. It's just to say, always make sure to brush along your gum line and clean between your teeth daily to help prevent and or maintain gum disease. Last fun fact, did you know that your saliva is a natural defense against cavities? It helps wash away food particles and neutralize acids. But remember, saliva doesn't replace brushing and flossing, of course. Having healthy saliva and keeping your mouth hydrated is super important, but so is brushing, flossing, and a healthy diet.
So let's get into what that means. So your mouth is the first line of defense for your immune system to protect you from bacteria and toxins. Now, when food enters your mouth, what also can be entering your mouth is bacteria. If you're not practicing good oral health, it can have so many serious health concerns for you down the road. And some of those health issues can be lethal. So what is the first thing that happens with your mouth? Well, we know that with toxins and bacteria, if they enter into the mouth, then that gives them the opportunity to flow through the body, through your bloodstream. Now, if your oral health is not up to par and you're not brushing twice a day and flossing, you're going to have the recipe for disaster, because what ends up happening is that when bacteria in the mouth from the foods that we eat and other things that go into our mouth, when that is not cleansed properly, what will happen is that it will flow through the body, through our bloodstream. And as it goes through the bloodstream, it causes minute, tiny little tears, and it also causes clots, mini blood clots, that then start to accumulate throughout the arteries and the veins. And that can lead to atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries. Very serious, because then that can lead to heart disease and stroke. If you are in that position where you have to look at your oral health, because your oral health will tell you so much about your overall health. If it's already gotten to the point where bacteria has now formed blood clots, those blood clots can not only lead to atherosclerosis, but they can also lead to high blood pressure. Another indicator of how your overall health is through your oral health is if you suddenly are experiencing loose teeth, or your teeth are falling out, or you're having inflamed gums, or they're bleeding, that is a very good indicator that you've developed type 2 diabetes. Why, you ask? Because when there is too much glucose flowing through the body and it's not being dealt with in the right way, so it's accumulating, the gums and the teeth are one of the very first indicators that that level is too high. When blood sugar is too high, it becomes an inflammatory response in the body, and that leads to inflamed gums, and it also leads to teeth decay and teeth falling out. And that's a very scary thought. Another part of oral health that is very interesting and also very important for you to keep in mind is that when bacteria goes through the system, not only can it involve hardening of the arteries, but it can also lead to heart disease. And specifically, one of the things that it can lead to is endocarditis. And what that means is when you have these tiny little blood clots and deposits being made, it inflames the chambers and the valves of the heart, which can cause, you guessed it, stroke and death because it's not being taken care of when it goes back to oral health. Your teeth, your gums, your tongue have so much to do with how healthy you are. And a lot of people are choosing to cover their teeth with veneers. Veneers is one way that you can make your pearly whites look amazing, but don't forget that you still have your own teeth underneath those veneers. And sometimes dentists get a little bit too encouraged and a little bit too enthusiastic and shave off too much of the enamel of your teeth. When that happens, it can lead the pulp, which is the nerve center of the tooth, to become extra sensitive. And it can also lead to the pulp of your tooth dying, which leads to decay in your mouth. And guess what? Bacteria flowing through your bloodstream that you may not even notice is happening. So the veneers themselves are not a problem. The problem is your teeth underneath and how healthy those teeth and gums are. Because an issue with bacteria, like I said, it flows through your bloodstream and your bloodstream can go to your brain. It can cause all kinds of issues and some of them are lethal. So now we know we need to brush our teeth. But let's take a look at what we're brushing our teeth with. Number one is use a soft bristle toothbrush. Don't use a hard one. And I would even say hold off on some of the electric toothbrushes unless they have extra sensitivity so that you're not wearing away your gums. The main thing to keep in mind is that you want to maintain strong gums and teeth while you're cleaning them. So let's look at toothpaste. There are some issues with toothpaste as well because of the ingredients that are being added to them that are not good for your health at all and can lead to other issues. One of the main things is fluoride. Now we know that for 95% of all toothpaste out there, commercial toothpaste, fluoride is one of the number one ingredients. There is an issue with fluoride because fluoride can cause an issue called fluorosis, which is what affects adolescents' teeth because they're still developing, remember, and it affects them by causing discoloration and spotting on their enamel, which is permanent. Can't get rid of that. Another thing with fluoride is that keep in mind too that 70% of all of the water in the United States has been infused with fluoride. Too much fluoride can lead to fluorosis. It can also lead to an overwhelm of fluoride in the body. That can lead to, some people say, it leads to calcification of parts of the brain, in particular the pineal gland, which is right between the eyes. That's left to be studied, but it is interesting to note that too much fluoride is not a good thing. You'll have perfectly preserved bones, but what will happen to your organs and soft tissue? Something to think about. Another ingredient that is not necessarily a good thing, and that is the artificial colors that are in our toothpaste. Now, according to the FDA, they only have seven artificial colors that have been approved on the FDA list. Most of the rest have been banned. The one that's still on the fence as to whether or not it's going to be banned or not is yellow number 5. It's been linked to hyperactivity, migraine, anxiety, and even cancer. So we'll see what happens with that. By now, it should be banned everywhere. Another ingredient that is not good for you with your toothpaste is sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a detergent. It was first used for scrubbing floors. Why is it in our toothpaste? It's also in our shampoos, by the way. Keep that in mind, and body wash. Not good at all. And putting that in the mouth is even worse. We're looking at an artificial surfactant that is supposed to foam and produce bubbles and make you think that it's being cleaned, but it has nothing to do with the cleaning effectiveness of your toothpaste. It's only working to be something that is very negative for your health. Another ingredient is propylene glycol. This is the leading ingredient in antifreeze. Why is that in our toothpaste? Come on. If it's in your toothpaste, obviously it's not good. There is a poison awareness that needs to go into our toothpaste. And if you read the fine print on your toothpaste tube, it says do not swallow. And if you swallow more than is recommended, you should report to a poison center. Keep that in mind. Artificial sweeteners are the other thing that is in your toothpaste. Why are they putting in artificial sweetener when you're supposed to be using toothpaste to clean sugar off your teeth? Interesting question, you might add. One of the things that they want to do is to make toothpaste attractive and it will taste good so that you'll keep brushing. That was the idea. But now with the use of artificial sweeteners, we're going into another realm of problems, health problems, when it comes to preventable illnesses. So a lot of the artificial sweeteners that we need to look out for, they have been banned now, like aspartame and saccharin. These artificial sweeteners are very negative when it comes to brain health and when it comes to gut health. We have to avoid those. One of the ways to get the most out of your toothpaste without having all of the negative effects of it is to go for a natural toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride included in it and will most likely not have many of the other ingredients. Now, before we get to the number one way of cleaning your teeth, let's go back to how your oral health affects your overall health. When you have bacteria that goes into your bloodstream through your mouth because of poor oral health or not enough oral health, what ends up happening is it can lead to high blood pressure, in addition to type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and overweight and obesity. Why, you ask? Because the body is not getting the right kind of blood flow that is clean and pure. When you have inflammation running through your bloodstream with the bacteria, it's causing issues wherever it lands. If it's coating your blood vessels with plaque and with other diseased cells, you're going to have hardening of the arteries, you're going to have heart disease, you're going to have heart attack and stroke. This is how serious oral health is. Remember that the first line of defense is through the mouth. That's the only way that bacteria and toxins can enter the body and get in directly into your digestive tract. The one thing to remember is that your digestion begins in your mouth. That's why oral health is so important. As soon as you start chewing, and saliva is being developed to help to digest this food. Digestion starts right in the mouth with an enzyme that helps to break down your carbohydrates and then separates out the sugar. Remember, your body needs glucose, which is simple sugar, to function. If that then is not broken down in the right way, it goes throughout the digestive tract. And when it goes through the digestive tract, then that means your immune system is compromised with all of the bacteria and inflammation. When the immune system is compromised in the gut and also in the mouth, you are in a bad position when it comes to acquiring a preventable chronic illness, also known as a lifestyle illness. Keep in mind, heart disease is the number one killer. It's above cancer, it's above COVID, it's above every other killer, heart disease. And if your oral health is not up to snuff, you are putting yourself at risk for something that's completely preventable. So if you want to know the best way to brush your teeth, I left it the best to last. The best way to brush your teeth is through oil pulling. I know, it's old fashioned, but it's an amazing way to clean your teeth, especially if you use an oil like coconut oil or olive oil. I prefer coconut oil because coconut oil also gives you shiny white teeth as well. The science behind oil pulling is that when you swish a bit of oil around in your mouth, it actually clings to the bacteria and it clings to the plaque on your teeth and helps for easy removal. So you swish for a minute or two, then use your toothbrush to do the rest of the work and spit it out. But caution, don't spit it into your sink or into your toilet because it can clog your drains because it is oil. So spit it into a container or a tissue or something and throw it directly in the garbage. The thing with oil pulling is that your teeth will be the cleanest that they can actually be, cleaner than brushing your teeth with toothpaste. Try it out and let me know what you think. It's an amazing thing. Oh, and you can also drop a little bit of natural peppermint oil in there to give you that minty freshness that you might be missing from regular toothpaste. It's an amazing way to live. Natural is best. But if you can't do natural, get as close to natural as you can by finding a toothpaste without fluoride and without sodium lauryl sulfate in it. I'm Rosemary Hassam. Message me below and let me know what are some of the things that you want to know about oral health and how it can help you prevent preventable long-term illnesses like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and overweight and obesity. It all starts in the mouth and it ends in the gut. And you are the one who can be in control of what happens in between. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please check out my YouTube channel. That's Have Some, HAV for Victor, SOM for Mother. We'll see you next time. I'm Rosemary Have Some. Bye.